So, some of the worst advice I've ever heard on YouTube is just start. That's right, just start. It has resulted in endless videos of people driving around in their car, rambling about this, that, or the other thing. People shooting in their bedrooms with the curtains all askew, with the bed unmade. I mean, the number of mindless videos of well meaning creators that followed the advice, just start, overwhelms YouTube. Hey, if you're going to bake a cake, do you just start or do you start with a recipe and maybe a cookbook? Do you propose on the first date? No, I don't think you do. When I joined the Marine Corps, I went through the recruiter after I got sworn in. They didn't give me a uniform and off I went. No, I went to basic training. I didn't just start. Now, the opposite of just starting is not starting at all. That's right, not starting at all. And there's a lot of YouTube creators that are like that. They're not creators yet because they never started. So between just starting and not starting is what I like to call starting smart. That's right, starting smart. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how I started smart. That's right. This is old Mike, old me living better. You know my motto, I hope by now. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. I started my channel when I was 80 years old in September of 2024. I have now about 44,000 subscribers. I got monetized in 9 weeks. I want to share with you my basic training for starting a YouTube channel. I didn't just start, but I did start, but I started smarter. And I hope that's what you will get out of this video. I want to share with you the first 30 seconds of my very first video. That's right, the first 30 seconds of my very first video. Now, this video isn't perfect, but I got to tell you, it's not too bad. And it's got almost 10,000 views and 234 comments. Here's my first video. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. I know it's terrible grammar, terrible English, but if you ain't dead, you ain't done. That's the motto I've lived by for the last 30 years. I want to share with you in this video 4 things that I believe will ensure that you can live to be 80, 90, and beyond. So that was my first video. But did you know that 4 videos later, I posted a video that went viral and now has over 444,000 views. That's right, 4 videos in, I had a viral video. And I think one of the reasons that my channel has done well, and I've had a few viral videos, but I have the consistency over the 16 months I've been on YouTube, is that I just didn't start. I did start, but I started smarter. The video that went viral has the information of what I did in starting my YouTube channel. How I started my YouTube channel at 80 years old. And in that video, I explain the 3 months and what I did in preparation to start my YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description below and at the end of this video. I encourage you to go watch that video, but let me give you the quick summary of that video and the 3 months of what I call my basic training for YouTube that helped me launch this channel at 80 years old. So what did I do on that first month? I call that the education or purpose month. I spent it dedicated to getting educated about YouTube. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos, thousands of videos on starting a YouTube channel. I watch a lot of different gurus. I probably was spending 5 or 6 hours a day doing nothing but watching videos on how to start a YouTube channel, how to run a YouTube channel, how to grow a YouTube channel. I spent a month digesting, taking notes, recording into my voice recording, writing in my journal, all of the information and education that I felt that I needed, and I didn't pay for any of it. I didn't sign up for a course. I didn't pay for coaching. I just simply went the free route. As an 82-year-old part-time YouTube creator, I didn't want to spend a lot of money doing this, but I had some time, so I spent the time getting educated on how to do YouTube. So what did I do in my second month? I call that my purpose month. I defined my why, my who, and my how. That's right. I spent an entire month discovering my passion, thinking about why I was going to be doing YouTube, why I existed, went through some deep introspection, thinking through things that I wanted to take my lived experience and take it onto YouTube and how I could do that best. The advantage of doing this and taking notes while I'm doing it, I ended up at the end of that second month, I had over 150 topics that I could create YouTube videos around. I narrowed it down to the top 50, and I actually spent the time to write out a framework, an outline for 50 different videos. By the time I hit the record button on that very first video, I had 40 or 50 videos in the bag. Now, they weren't recorded, but I had all of the information, all of the research, all of my ideas. I had mapped them all out longhand in my journal. I had a whole resource library to draw from. I didn't have to worry about what am I going to do next. It was already there. I just had to pick from that list. After I hit record, I knew that I could sustain what I was doing. That's what the second month did for me. It gave me a sustainable framework. Starting smart is having the education, and two, developing a sustainable workflow and framework. That was month number 2. Month number 3, that was working out all the technical stuff. Month number 3, I started doing sample recordings, not to be recorded, but I sat here in my living room and I started making recordings. I tried out several different video editors. I began to learn different software that I was going to use. I started with my iPhone 16 Pro. I think I had a wired mic at the time in that first video. Sound wasn't good. I wasn't looking at the camera. I was looking at the screen of the phone. Like I said, that first video wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. But in the third month, I got all the kinks worked out that I could, got proficient enough that I could edit a video, got proficient enough that I could talk into a camera. I felt pretty good. When I hit the button, finally, remember, I didn't just start, but I did start, and I started smart. It wasn't perfect because you've got to grow after you do start, and you're going to learn all through the process. But the worst advice I think on YouTube is just start without having any background, without spending some boot camp time learning what you are doing, and then you start. You're starting smart. So I want to leave you with some resources. If you haven't started your channel yet, or you're at the beginning stages of it, to start smart, there are 3 creators that I encourage you to watch. One of them is Think Media. It's a great Sean Connell. It's a great channel. They've got several different channels, but Think Media is where I spent a lot of my time. I learned a lot of the basics. The second channel is Ty Meyer's channel. Ty is a friend of mine now. I love his content. If you're just starting, or you haven't started yet, you need to get onto his channel and you need to go through all of his playlists. You'll start so far ahead of everybody else. And then the third channel is my friend Darren Strauss. I believe the most important thing for talking head videos and even for any kind of video is storytelling. Not telling a story, but learning the framework of storytelling. Those are the three channels that I really recommend you subscribe to. Watch all of their videos. Take some time. The last thing I would recommend is joining a community. Now, I'm going to push my community now, but there's a lot of other communities that you can join. If you join my school community, I have a free quick start guide that you might be interested in. Once you join the community, that free quick start guide is available for you. Having community, people to talk to, people to ask questions, is so important to have community. So I encourage you to join my school community or any school community that you can hang out with and share information, ask questions, and get feedback. So remember, watch this video over here, how I started my YouTube channel at 80 years old. That's a deeper dive into what I did during the 3 months of boot camp that I call it now. But remember, don't just start, but you got to start somewhere. So in between just don't start and don't ever start, I encourage you to start smart. This is old Mike, old me, living better. I hope you have a great day, a great channel, and I'll see you next time.